Welcome back for Tip Tuesday. I don't know about you, but I am already planning what I'm going to be baking for the holidays coming up. And I have had a horrible time trying to find canned pumpkin. Just pumpkin puree so I can make Mark's favorite dessert, pumpkin pie or pumpkin bread for the Thanksgiving morning. It's really nowhere to be found, or if it is, you can only get a can or two if you're lucky. But have been able to find an awful lot of these little babies, pie pumpkins. They're readily available in the produce section of most grocery stores, and I even found them at my garden center this past weekend. So I'm gonna make my own, and I thought today's tip could be about how to make your own pumpkin puree. It is actually really simple to do. So hang in with me. I'm going to move this and show so you can hopefully see what I'm doing a little bit better. What I did was I bought a little pie pumpkin. I'm gonna cut the stem off, and it's got a not so pretty side, doesn't matter really for what I'm doing, but I'm gonna make a slice there. The reason I'm doing this, I'm gonna slice off just a tiny little bit. One thing about this, as you're doing it, I don't know if you can see, make sure you have a really sharp knife. Mine's probably not quite as sharp as it should be, but make sure you have a sharp knife, otherwise it can slip and you can cut yourself and do some damage. Don't do that. So anyway, so I've cut off a slice on one side. Why did I do that? Because I don't want this baby rolling all over the place as I'm trying to cut it. If I were to try and cut it like this, it's gonna roll everywhere. So lay it flat. Let me move this back a little bit. You're not seeing. There we go. Lay it flat on that side I just cut off. And now I'm gonna cut the stem off. Why am I doing that? It's not it is pretty, but I don't need it for what I'm doing. So I'm gonna cut the stem off. The other thing about the stem is I'm gonna end up cutting this pumpkin kind of in half, and the stem is really hard and you really can't get through it. So just cutting that off makes it that much easier. Okay, so now I have my pumpkin. I'm gonna cut it in half. And again, sharp knife. And what I do is I kind of rock it a little bit until I get going. And there we go. And just cut through just like that. Super easy. Slide her around and cut all the way through. There we go. All right, now I have my half pumpkin. I am gonna scoop out the seeds with a spoon and save those. Watch my Instagram for tomorrow. I'll show you what I do with pumpkin seeds, but I am not gonna waste these babies. I'm gonna save them. Once I have the seeds out, I will lay it flat, like so. Imagine the seeds are out, on a sheet pan that's lined with parchment paper. Then I will put both halves in the oven that's been preheated to 425, and I will bake them or roast them for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. Depends a little bit on how big your pumpkins are. This is a pretty big one, so it's probably gonna go full 45 minutes. Once I've done that, okay, sorry for that little interruption. Thanks, Alexa, for letting me know somebody was at the front door and the dog. So once the pumpkin is roasted and done, I will pull it out of the oven and let it cool. Now, the way I tell that the pumpkin is fully roasted and ready to go is, there we go. Okay. One, when I put my knife in, it goes in really easy. Two, the skin just kind of peels right off, just like that. Okay, so this pumpkin is ready to go. Both sides, it just peels right off. And I will get rid of that skin. So my pumpkin is ready to go. What I'm going to do is pull over my food processor, and I'm going to put that pumpkin into the food processor. And I will probably cut it in half so I get some of the big chunks out, just like that. And like that. And like that. And get all this good pumpkin in there. And I did wash my hands, just so you know. Fit it tightly, like so. And puree. It will take a minute or two, and I might have to go in and just kind of push it down a little bit. I might have to go in and push it down a little bit to really get it nice and pureed, the fully pureed. But once I do, it's ready to go. See how it goes here. Take it off. Push it down. If you don't have a food processor, a blender will work just fine. Just keep pureeing it until it's done. Don't add any liquid to it, it'll make it too liquidy. You just want the pure pumpkin. And honestly, that's what Libby's or any other canned pumpkin is. It is just pure pumpkin, nothing added. So if you can't find pumpkin puree at the grocery store, this is how easy it is to make your own. And once it's made, it's pretty well pureed. I'll do a little bit more, but I'll show you. Canned puree, just like what you get in the can. Once it is all pureed like that, I will measure it out in probably 1.5 2-cup measures, pack it up in bags and label it and freeze it. And I have now pumpkin puree to make my pumpkin pies, to make pumpkin bread or muffins, or even pumpkin soup. So that's how you make your own pumpkin puree. About 30 to 45 minutes in the oven. Let it cool, scoop it out, run it through the food processor. It takes maybe a minute to do that, and you are ready to go. So that's it. Tip Tuesday. Make your own pumpkin puree. Have a great day, everybody. Sorry for the interruption, and I will see you next week.